All right, back for part two.
Part two.
So, what did you think of those lotus seeds?
Oh, phenomenal. Phenomenal. You guys spiced them well.
Really tasty. It's like a good replacement for like chips and like that kind of.
I mean, it obviously is low calorie, but it doesn't feel low calorie.
It fills you up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The only thing is like if you have too much, it can cause bloating, which is like not that big of a deal. But it's like you have to take like 2 cups for that. 2-3 cups.
So you have to be pushing through them to get to the bloating stage.
Hey, bro. Sometimes you get in the mood, you're like, damn, these are so good, and you have no idea.
Well, especially I love anything spiced or spicy, and that can be like I turn into a zombie when I get in front of them like
so
that.
You don't have a sweet tooth?
No, I have a spice tooth.
Yeah,
I go for all the spicy stuff.
Me too.
I'm sure that's gonna backfire on me one day, years down the line.
Surprised, bro. Compared to having a sweet tooth.
No, I just
way better
down the line. Just I don't know how good that is for my GI, but but no, yeah, my teeth are spicy versus sweet.
That wasn't too spicy for you, right?
Oh, not at all.
Okay, no. Okay. It's actually kind of weird. Like, so traditionally, Indian food tends to be very spicy. My brother was born in India. I was born in the States.
I didn't know he was born in India. Really?
Wait, what? No way.
No idea. I did not know that. I think he was born at Kent General like you.
Oh my, that's crazy.
No kidding. I did not know. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't interrupt, but I did not know that.
That's actually crazy. I thought you would have I
had no idea he was born.
You couldn't tell, but when you meet him, you would have no idea that he was.
Of course not. But no, I had no idea. Anyways, I'm sorry. He was born in India,
and he can't tolerate any spice. I tolerate, I love adding sriracha sauce, hot sauce, fire sauce. I love spicy.
Yeah.
He can't tolerate any. His food is super mild. I was like, bro, this is so bland.
Really?
Yeah.
Has he always been that way?
I would say so.
No kidding.
I would say so.
See, I'm the exact opposite, and it's actually problematic. But, I'm like the Beyonce. I carry hot sauce in my bag. But I will put it on just about any meal I eat.
Well, the first time I ever heard of Tabasco sauce was actually from you.
That's right. Look, I don't know. I don't know if it started out as kind of like a cool, I'm gonna be different and tough and take the spice, and then it just caught. I don't know what it was, but
it's pretty good.
Well, it adds a little kick. It gets the senses flowing if you're stuffed up.
Oh, dude, it clears those sinuses instantly, bro.
And so it is a bit of a problem though, because and my wife jokes with me all the time. I'll for breakfast, lunch, and dinner have a bunch of spicy food. I'll have at dinner 2 beers, and then that night I'll be like, "Oh, why does my stomach hurt?" It's well,
you did it to yourself.
That's right. She's like, "Well, why don't you think about what you consume throughout the day and get back to me?" It's like, yeah, but no, yeah, I am solidly in the. I like whenever I'm out to a restaurant and you see 1 pepper, 2 pepper, 3 pepper next to a menu.
You go
item.
For the max.
I go for the whatever has the most peppers next to it. I'm like, yeah, give me that.
Have you ever done the 1 chip challenge?
I have, yes.
What'd you think of that?
Well, yeah, that hurt. That hurt.
I was like, this isn't even it's to a point where it's not even enjoyable.
No. It's like that da bomb sauce. It's not.
It doesn't taste good.
No,
this is not why I eat spicy food.
No, and there's a certain, I guess, Scoville unit where it stops becoming tasty and enjoyable.
It becomes painful.
Just as novelty of pain. Yeah. And at that point, it's just a contest to see who can
who can handle it.
Or handle the spiciest thing. So I like that nice, not past
to the painful,
thing. Yeah,
but to the that's good.
Yes, exactly.
Zingy,
the nice zinging kick.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my grandpa, the one that lives here, his spice tolerance is insane, the highest in the family. He eats spice until his head, he's balding. His head would be sweating, and he's got his handkerchief dabbing his head. I was like, holy shit, how do you even enjoy this?
Dude, see, I'm probably only a notch or 2 down below that, because I'll be eating some stuff that I'll
really?
After. Oh, absolutely,
really?
Absolutely.
We might have to do the 1 chip challenge on the podcast next time.
I would be down. I would be down to do that again. If I can handle it once, I can handle it again. That was years ago, but I think Do
you remember when we got the pepper spray? And we sprayed it in the shower just to test it out.
I tell that story almost, I swear it seems like once every 2 months.
Oh my, well, you got to tell it again for the audience.
Oh, I'd love to. Well, you always had contraptions in college. You were a contraption man. That when I was going through Snapchat the other day.
Is it the camera?
It was the camera. It was the camera taser. Yeah.
Oh my god!
And I saw you have that. I don't remember you. It was in 2C, my floor's bathroom. So you must have knocked on my door and said, "Nick, look what I have today. Look at today's contraption." And it was pepper spray. And I had never seen pepper spray used. I had never used pepper spray, anything like that. And had you before that?
No.
And so we wanted to test it out, of course, and see what the hell this is all about.
Yeah.
How does this deter an attack? Pepper.
Yeah, well, it's like, this can't be real. Like, come on, I eat spice on the daily.
That's right. And so we went into the bathroom and we chose the big shower. And you said, all right, let's let it rip. And you fired it off. And you did something that, first off, it makes sense in hindsight, but I didn't realize. I always thought pepper spray was a mist, like an aerosol mist.
That's what I was expecting.
But remember, it's actually liquid
like
that
a
shoots
straight
out.
beam.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Liquid. And I remember we shot a bunch into the shower with brown, kind of like.
It wasn't even much. It was like one spray. That's what we did.
Oh, yeah. It was just one quick stream, but it was on the back wall. It was brown. And we kind of looked at it and we're like.
The janitor was definitely like, what the fuck? Has diarrhea.
Pretty high, too. Yeah. Good aim.
Really bent over for that.
And I remember we kind of looked at it for a second and we're like, well, okay, this is fine. There's not that bad.
Yeah.
And so we said, well, let's clean it up. And so we got into the shower to clean it up. And what we kind of inadvertently did was created our own little gas chamber, actually, because we got in there. And remember, we just started. I mean, we couldn't breathe. We were hacking up and coughing.
Like coughing, yes.
Eyes. We looked like, we looked like we just got tear gassed. Yeah. So we, unfortunately, in effect, did create a little mini gas chamber right in that shower. And I can
see why somebody would be deterred.
Yes. And
very, very apparent.
And we didn't even get it sprayed on us. We were breathing in the second in fumes. Oh my gosh.
Brutal.
I don't know if they do this today, but my father was in the military, and in his day and age in the American military, they would do a like chemical field test where they would take a bunch of airmen in a gas chamber and they would pump the room full of tear gas, and everyone had a gas mask on. And what the instructor would say was, okay, every one of you is going to remove your masks. I'm going to count to 30, and then you can put them back on. But they're in a room full of. Do they still do that?
I think so, yeah.
And he went through it, and he said he remembered it was just absolute, that 30 seconds, everyone's trying to be a tough guy, but by the end, everyone is just snotting and crying. And so that was, the next little generation of that is what you and I did.
Dude, I remember when we took a little spray. I don't know if you remember this, but we sprayed a little bit on our fingers. And then we just tasted it. We licked it just to taste it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I remember this clear as day.
What's wrong with that,
bro? Because we were like, oh, it's not that bad. We handle spicy Indian food all the time. I was like, oh, my grandma's cooking's hella spicy. I'll be fine.
Surely pepper spray is the
exactly. It's just a little bit above, but no. Oh my god, bro!
They're not kidding about how.
Not at all. And it's oil based, right?
Yes.
So I remember we got it. I got it on my tongue. I was at the bathroom sink for 20 minutes trying to rinse it out.
We were just cupped under the sink, just completely trying to waterfall ourselves.
And then literally 2-3 hours later, I remember me, Shamar, Peter, and Jeff, we were all playing zombies. And we were in the lounge at South Academy. And I itched my eye because it was getting kind of dry.
Yeah.
Dude, it was still on my finger because it's oil based. Washing it with water doesn't do anything. For another 30 minutes, I'm in straight this most severe pain.
I don't even think I ate anything for the rest of that day, and it was probably 11 o'clock when we did that. I think I was just so deterred. I was like, all right, I need to lay face down, completely motionless for
ice cream and gallons of milk for the next freaking 3 days.
Oh my gosh.
It was brutal.
What a time. Why did we do that? Well, no, I'm glad we did. But
I'm glad we know it works.
Yeah,
if somebody breaks into my house, I don't need a gun. I just need give me one little pepper spray, and that's all I need.
We busted that myth, I think.
No.
Not that there ever was a myth, but we found out for ourselves pepper spray works.
Oh my God. That was a crazy time. That was the beauty of college, We did so much dumb shit.
We did, and we, that's I love college for a lot of reasons, not just for our own experience, but for anyone who goes to college. Of course, a lot of folks enter the workforce and enter, maybe do military, whatever they do. But college is a really neat time for those who are, able to go. I want to go because it really is, for me anyways, and I think a lot of us, it was a time to discover, who we really were.
Absolutely.
And, we were in the university we went to was a college town, right? Newark is a college town.
Yeah.
And so here we are in a town with a few other 1,000 people, all
our age, all dumbasses,
all figuring out who they are, growing into adulthood. We're all everyone's passionate about what they're learning about and what they're doing and getting involved on I mean, it's a cool time of life for those that go through it. And
great learning time. Like not even outside of school, we learn about so many things, how to do so many things that we would never have thought of.
Well, and this is, this obviously does not apply to you, of course, because, you had the experience of going back to India and being much more worldly than I am. But, we grew up in small farm town USA. By the time I was born, my parents, they had me a little later in life. And so I wasn't traveling around all that much. And I didn't, the extent of the people I had met were those in Delaware, really. And so when I went to the University of Delaware and all of a sudden I'm meeting people from China and Colombia and, all these new countries and places speaking these new languages and these new backgrounds and values and
changed your worldview. You get a big diversity, like it's so much more diverse outlook,
And it was just, it was so, again, obviously it sounds so silly to say that I could become worldly in little Newark, Delaware, but it
makes a huge difference.
It did for me, especially again, coming from just like a small farm town, mostly white, very homogenous community.
Yeah.
Going into this, new world really and having fun. We had so much fun.
Oh, dude, so much. We learned so much. We had such a great time. Me personally, I've made plenty of mistakes, Like, I got so fat eating junk food all the time. When that Mexican pizza dropped from Taco Bell.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
And I always thought, I was a resident assistant and I taught a class at UD, actually, years later. And as a resident assistant and as an adjunct, I remember both my residents and my students complaining so much about the dining halls, saying, "Oh, they suck, they're horrible, they're gross." And I was almost offended. I was like, "Wait, I loved the dining halls when we were there.
We'd go to Penn Caterers, Caesarani all the time."
I was like, what do you mean? This is the biggest, CR is the biggest dining hall on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And what do you mean? Why are you, of course it's not, home cooking, but.
It's a buffet. You could have whatever you want.
And there's so many options.
Absolutely.
And it's homemade. And I was like, my gosh, guys, I think you're looking this a little bit.
You don't get that anywhere else.
No.
Where else could you get that?
I was talking with my sister-in-law a few years ago when she went off to college. She went off to college in Massachusetts at a small state school.
Okay.
And she was saying like, the dining hall, there's only, 2 or 3 options a day. And if they ever have fish, you don't eat the fish because you'll get food poisoning. And I was like, oh my God, like I can't, UD was, not to mention if you were vegetarian or vegan or you have allergies, UD was very, they accommodated well.
We still had a good amount of options, Pete's, those bagels. I'm just like thinking of things that I would enjoy. A lot of Mexican food options, a lot of Italian options. There was a lot of stuff to eat.
And so I almost felt like what's that?
They had Beyond Burgers and everything.
Beyond? Oh, they went
those were really good.
Above and beyond. And so I was almost a little offended when the kids said, I was like, what do you mean? What do you all right, I'm sorry, we don't have a Michelin star chef working in the back.
Yeah, if you want friggin' steak for dinner and lunch every day.
Yeah, I think there's an Outback Steakhouse up the road. By all means, splurge away. But, I was fine right at the dining halls myself. No, I think about college often, though, actually. Not in like hopefully it doesn't come off in like a reliving the glory days kind of thing, like stuck in the past. But it was a very, it was, I keep a positive, optimistic outlook. I don't think that's going to be, quote unquote, the best years of my life.
Yeah.
But I see why there's a general opinion in the air that you're going to really remember those 4 years.
Absolutely.
Particularly our freshman year, I think.
Oh, dude, freshman year was the best. And that's when we met a lot of the people. So we're still discovering. Now we know them for a long time. So we know all the ins and outs. When you're discovering these new people in your life, you're like, oh my God, whoa, wait, I just met this guy, but we're having such a good time. Like, oh my God, I've never talked to you people in my life, But now there's so many people that we've went to the same school and we've never talked to. Like Shamar, right?
Yeah.
I went to the same high school, never talked to him, ever. in my life, we actually have a story where the only time that I've ever seen Shamar actually at CR was he would leave the parking lot like super early, like when school came out, like when school ended. And I would just like be walking out of the school to get to my car. And he would be the guy that's just like rushing to get out. And like, he almost hit me a few times. And Shamar knew me as like the Indian kid that was like taking his sweet ass time to get to his car because I'm trying to get out before the buses. I was like, bro, how the fuck did we end up on the same floor? Like now we're like, we talk all the time. We play games all the time. It's crazy.
Well, and look at all my groomsmen. Three of my groomsmen I met in freshman year: Ari, Shamar, and Luke.
Yeah.
And so I before 2018, I had no idea who any of those people were. And then they ended up being some of my closest friends. And so, if you play your cards right and are dealt a good hand, you can really make a life out of that, that 4-year experience.
100%.
And in our case, because of COVID, really, 1.5 year experience. Yeah. So
it was still a good time.
Oh, all things considered, we lucked out big time.
Yeah. The only thing that I feel like you'll never get back is like being that close to your core friend group. Like I'm just going to go upstairs, or I'm just going to go across the street, or I'll just take my car and drive 5 minutes. We're not going to get that again.
No, that's good.
But still, soon we're all transitioning to the stage where we all have our own things that we have to deal with, our own families and stuff, which is going to take up a lot of our time. Mm-hmm. So the fact that we can still even, hang out every couple months is still pretty great.
Well, I think it's better than a lot of folks have. I mean, some folks go all across the country, the world. Yep. We're pretty lucky.
We can still see our friends. A lot of people can't.
Well, and it's interesting too because I think about this pretty often. You mentioned just everything being so connected and close to each other at college.
Yeah,
I think about the idea of a walkable city. And that was the one time in my life that I lived in a quote unquote walkable city.
You want a piece of gum?
Oh yeah, sure, thank you. I went to I walked to my classes. I walked to my meals. I walked to Main Street for groceries and shopping. And
very different from where we grew up.
You
can't walk anywhere.
No, nowhere at all. And that was so freeing, and I got more exercise. I think I was in a better, headspace mentally, being able to get fresh air and sunlight, and you run into people more often down the, walking on the sidewalk. Oh, yeah. Say, hey, and you start to kind of familiar faces. That you're right. That is something that we unfortunately can't get back. Partially because it's just kind of the way America was built. It's it's a road-based society here, but also partially too because where else are you going to live with 300 of your closest peers in a room?
And to be fair, like, do we really want to go back to like a walkable city like Philly or New York? I don't know about that. It's fun to visit.
Yeah.
But living? Oh, hell no.
No, I think I would like a nice middle ground if I could choose. But
to be honest, I feel like we're in a pretty good place. If we want to go to Philly, we can. If we want to go to New York, we can. If we want to go to Ocean City or the beaches, easily accessible.
Years ago, I used to work for a politician, and we hosted some individuals from a diplomatic mission from a country in Southeast Asia. And one of my assignments that day was like keep the consul general busy, just entertain him or whatever. And so I was talking with him about Delaware and the beaches and all that. And I'd never heard him say that, and I'd never heard anybody say this, but when I was telling him about kind of like the general geographic region, the Mid-Atlantic, he said, Delaware is the most strategic state I have seen.
That's a good way to put it.
It did. Why? I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
We have Baltimore, DC, Philadelphia is close. New York is close.
Jersey.
Anywhere in Jersey is close. We have the Delaware beaches. We have the Jersey beaches.
Yeah.
You can get up into Lake Lancaster, Amish country.
Everything you want is like an hour away, maybe.
Right. Including airports and...
we got 3 airports like maybe 2 hours away,
Right. Boat ports. I mean, Baltimore has a port. New York has a port.
Yeah.
There's the port of Wilmington for commerce.
Speaking of, we need to do a cruise trip. We need to get the squad on a cruise. I think it would be a great time. Just chilling, relaxing. Wait, you don't like boats?
No, I love boats. What do you mean?
Okay. I don't know
who you're thinking of, but no, I love boats.
Okay, let's make it happen. What you waiting on?
Well, I just got back from my first ever cruise.
Really?
2 months ago.
Where'd you go?
We went to the Bahamas.
Okay.
Actually.
Carnival?
Yes, it was.
Nice. How was it?
Oh, I just had we had the grandest time.
It's amazing.
We did.
Don't have to worry about anything, food, like accommodations. It's so chill, Turn off your brain, just like put it aside and just have a good time.
And that is exactly what I did. And I never quite felt anything like it. It was wonderful. And I loved getting to go to, we went to Bahamas, Nassau.
Okay.
And, obviously it's a very touristy area, but, still you're in a new country. I got the passport stand, which I love. And
nice.
I mean, me, I brought a little flag. And so I just, it's a very relaxing experience. It's very neat to go to a new country.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. They take care of the food, the drinks, the accommodations. Everything is handled for you.
Your shows.
I went to a few like late night comedy, the kind of like stand up.
Punchliner comedy club.
The Punchliner Comedy Club. Oh my gosh, you have been on a cruise.
Bro, I have like the friggin' gold, silver card or whatever. I've been on it so many times.
Yes, I spent many a night at the Punchliner. And that was just, it was so boys cruise when.
Let's do it, bro. I'm so ready. Summertime. Let's make it happen.
I'm down.
It'd be a great time. And now, did you go to, which island did you go to aside from Nassau?
So yeah, we went to Nassau. We went to Celebration Key.
Which
is like their kind of like, it's almost, they own it. It's like an amusement park, really.
It's pretty, they have the wild chickens.
They do, yes, they do.
I always thought that was crazy. I was like, what the heck? They had chickens on an island?
And then we went to Princess Cays as well.
That one's also pretty beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and that's all the Bahamas. That's all, in terms of the border, that's all Bahamas. But no, we just had it was a blast. It's an absolute... And I love, sitting out on the balcony and looking at the islands as you go by.
Beautiful.
It's just, there's nothing like it, really. And so I was just blown away.
Did you do any excursions while you were there?
We didn't. We really wanted to do, which I hadn't heard of until we got there, which is why we couldn't do it. It fills up fast. There is, in Nassau, about 20 minutes away from the major port there, is a little beach where they have all these free roaming pigs. And so you swim with the pigs and they bring out these baby little piglets and they run and oink and go run in the water. And so you can swim with the pigs.
Yeah.
And we really wanted to swim with the pigs, but alas,
it was sold out.
It was sold out. So maybe another year we'll swim with the pigs yet.
No, I'm telling you, summertime, we'll go. So what I've noticed is the first day, you should book your excursions.
Yeah,
as soon as you get onto the cruise, go to the station. That's what we do every time. Last time I actually went, I took my grandparents with me. My maternal grandparents, the ones that live here. So I have to, there's a lot of cool excursions I want to do. Like there's scuba diving and there's all this kind of stuff. But I have to do something that gets all of the age groups accommodated. I got my cousins with me, got grandparents with me, got my aunts and uncles there. So we have to pick stuff like, touring on a bus.
Right.
Or walking around and stuff like that.
Very accessible. Exactly.
But if we do a boys trip or people our age, we could do whatever we want. We could do scuba diving. We could do the stingrays and the pigs stuff. Let's make it happen.
Well, it is a good idea to go right away and get those. That way you have pick of the litter of what you want.
Dude, literally before I'm like, hey, you guys put your bags in the room. I'm going to go take care of the excursions. First thing, as soon as I board, I'm the first one there because nobody else is there.
Yeah, everyone's thinking about packing out or
exactly having a brew. Yeah,
that's right. So you're
let's get our first
business.
meal.
That's right.
Exactly.
I'm down. I'm absolutely down.
My favorite thing is that the gym is on the ship, and it's there's no excuse. I work out every day when I'm there. I'm like, dude, what is better than working out? You see the vastness of the ocean just in front of you. You're rocking back. I always find that so funny. I'd be doing shoulder press, and the ship's rocking back and forth. So every now and then you're like, ugh.
That would scare me. I think I'd feel a rogue wave and drop a barbell.
It's pretty weird, dude. It's getting your sea legs, but you're also lifting, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, that was I was a little worried about that myself, but no, it ended up being I was able to handle it. And so, and that's also one of those things too, where I didn't, it's like if you're going to fly for the first time, there's a certain type of person that looks up oh gosh, well, what are the chances of a plane crashing? Or what are the chances of
the Titanic part two?
That's right. And so it was one of those things also where I was like, you know what? I could very easily go down a rabbit hole of every shipwreck that's ever occurred, or I can just push that out of my mind and go get a glass of rum. And I chose B. So
hey, they got lifeboats, bro. Worst case, Pop
Yes,
into one of those
and
lifeboats.
because of the Titanic, now the lifeboats can
Actually
everybody
float.
on board. Yeah,
We don't need to just have Leonardo DiCaprio sitting outside on a plank.
chilling in the water.
Just a
Yeah,
lady.
no.
The Titanic is actually so small compared to the new cruises.
Mhm.
It's actually insane.
I've seen the side by sides. Yeah,
Titanic, I think, was only 3 stories. The Carnival cruise that comes out of Baltimore, that's actually considered small for cruises.
it is.
The new ones are like 20. This one was 10 floors. 10 floors are small compared to the Titanic, which is only 3 floors. It's freaking crazy.
They really are. I had them in multiple people describe them to me as floating cities, and they really are floating cities.
Yeah.
I think the capacity of the cruise we were on was 2,500 plus crew or something like that.
It's crazy.
And it was a big ship. But in Nassau, we docked next to another cruise ship.
Royal Caribbean, Oasis of the Seas.
No, it was. I'd never heard of this company before. I'm sure if I heard the name, I'd remember it. But it was not a recognizable one.
Norwegian, MSC.
MSC.
Yeah.
It was MSC, and I mean, just looking from one side to the other, I could easily tell that cruise ship was double the size of ours.
It's always crazy. You said look
Looking
it
up,
up, and you're like,
and they had like roller coasters on the top, and I saw a
Yep.
zip line course, and I'm like, I thought our boat was big.
yeah,
This is a big boat,
massive, dude.
And so I can only imagine that capacity must have been like 5,000 people, which is like the size of the city of Harrington. So it was just shocking. It was incredible. And then, you look at the Titanic, which, we think of this as monumental.
Nothing.
The Titanic. And it's like a little paddle boat.
Yeah,
comparison.
it's like
Makes you realize how that iceberg won.
yeah. Iceberg hits a cruise ship, it might not do anything. You might just bounce off.
I just bounce off, yeah.
But yeah, we should go on so the issue with the port that we live near is there's a bridge that it has to cross under.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So they have to do a certain height. We should go from like New York. That way we can go on like, Royal Caribbean, Oasis of the Seas. Those are like huge, massive ships. Those are like legit floating cities.
Yeah.
Like a whole mall inside.
Oh, see, I would be down to do that.
We'd get lost, bro.
I almost got lost on the ship I went on, the Pride.
Yeah,
And-
that's the one that we always go on.
Yeah, and so I was almost lost on the Pride. I couldn't even imagine quite literally double the size.
Yeah.
I would be, that would be an experience. That would be, now that I know I can handle cruises, I think I was also a little worried.
Seasickness and stuff like that.
Not even seasickness, because I have a strong stomach, but
Okay.
I was a little worried about the idea, I had never been out in the open ocean before. Some people get like ocean claustrophobia, where once they can't see land anymore, something, a survival fight or flight instinct kicks in them.
It is pretty nerve-wracking, There's no land, nothing to, like, if you were to jump off the ship, there's nothing around you.
That'd be it. And so,
where do you run away to,
and I wasn't sure, because you can't predict how you're going to react to that.
Yeah.
But of course, I reacted well. And so now that I know I can handle a cruise,
It's time for the big rig.
that's right. That's right. And so I think I got my sea legs officially. I got my legs, and now I can go to the big leagues.
Hey, let's make it happen.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
So one thing, I actually never get seasick or motion sick. None of that stuff happens to me. But I noticed, I don't know if it was, me and my brother were actually talking about this, because he's the same way. He doesn't get seasick, he doesn't get motion sick, none of that stuff, right? We love roller coasters, skydiving roller coasters, stuff that turns upside down. We love that stuff, right? We took a trip with my niece to it was like a beach, like a boardwalk kind of theme park. It was small. It was like nothing compared to like Six Flags and stuff like that, right? And both of us were getting super motion sick. And that's never happened before.
Like on rides?
Yeah, on like tiny rides.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we were talking about how like maybe like do you think it's from like either the COVID vaccine or being sick from COVID? Like we don't know, obviously, but that is something we were speculating about, because this has been something completely foreign to us. We've been on King Ka, which was like one of the tallest roller coasters, and me and him like we're nuts for that stuff, right?
Yeah.
There's a drop coaster that was built on the side of King Ka.
Yeah.
Literally, that was so fun. We would go on that, literally come down the stairs, run around, and then go back up, and then do it like 8 times in a row.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I'm not a medical professional, but my best guess would be that, I mean, it could unfortunately have been a number of things.
Or we're just old.
Yeah, the last time you rode a ride, you never know. I mean, sometimes as you age, that fluid in your ears can get a little bit more sensitive, and so you become a little more dizzy when you're moving about.
Yeah.
But of course, the vaccine is safe and everything. But
oh yeah, it's definitely safe. It's just like we think it's due to the actual illness itself, because there's long-term effects.
Absolutely, long COVID is a real thing, and it can mess with your kind of inner equilibrium.
Yeah.
Plus, I learned something from my brother-in-law, who is I don't want to say his exact job title because that might, just for privacy reasons, but he is like a.
Let me just check it. Yes, see if we're still recording. But go ahead. Yeah, you can keep talking.
He is almost like a natural resources officer.
Okay.
For a beach where he lives, and in many jobs he held previously, he was on those big shipping boats like Deadliest Catch. He used to be constantly on the Deadliest Catch. Deadliest Catch? Have you heard that?
Yeah.
He used to kind of be on those big boats that would go out into the dangerous water.
No way.
And according to him, seasickness is a universal thing. Every person alive will get seasick.
Okay.
It's just everyone has their own threshold.
Okay.
So there's nobody who is immune from motion sickness. It's just some people get really motion sick to where that if they're in the backseat of a car, they'll get sick.
Yeah.
Some need to be in a gyroscope, but everybody gets seasick apparently.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm assuming that like everybody has a threshold that they can handle.
That's right. Yeah. There's nobody that just cannot and is just tolerant of it completely.
It's like spice tolerance.
That's right. Yes. You're going to get to a point where everybody is still going to be feeling something. So yeah, same principle. Yep.
Okay. We do have a few friends that have never been on a cruise. So that'll be it'll be interesting making sure that, handling them if they get a little seasick.
Yeah. Was it Dramamine? Dramamine. I didn't take anything. I didn't need anything. It also wasn't a particularly rocky cruise though. So I don't know if, again, I have a pretty iron stomach, but.
Yeah. Where you sit is also a big factor. Like where you sit on the cruise, like where your suite is, that makes a huge difference.
We got a side room.
Okay.
So we could see the ocean from our room.
But what about like in terms of length, were you towards the middle, towards an edge?
Dead center.
That's why. That's probably one. Well, maybe not why. And maybe you do just have like, very tolerant. But if you're at the back or at the front, you'll feel a lot more motion. Because when you think about it, like if something is tilting up and down, where's the most motion happening? At the end.
Yeah, we were solidly in the middle of the ship.
That's a great spot. So we should try to book our rooms for like near the center.
Yes, just to make sure everyone's a little bit more comfy.
And of course, we'll have Dramamine just in case. They even sell them on the ship.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to have everything you need. Tylenol, all of it.
Everything, dude. It's amazing. It really is a floating city.
It is. And it on one hand makes me a little uncomfortable being like weighted on hand and foot because I'm not a very high needs kind of person. But you must admit that it's nice to just completely let every worry out of your mind. Everything is handled for you. You are pampered to the highest degree.
Absolutely. There's spas, there's gyms, the food's taken care of, drinks taken care of, everything, nothing to worry about. Entertainment's taken care of. You just do what you like.
That's right. And actually that is why I liked, the Carnival liner we went on. We felt like there was something for every kind of person, every kind of age group.
Oh yeah.
Going on at some time, whether it was trivia or bingo or, kids activities, coloring, comedy, there was something for every kind of person, every kind of activity. Somebody had something that would interest them.
And the cruise directors, their whole job is to do that entertainment side. They do a great job of making sure that everybody's entertained. They're the guys on the intercom that's like, hey, good morning, guys. These are the shows coming on tonight.
Yep.
And they coordinate all of the events that happen, and they do a great job in making sure that everybody has a good time.
Yeah, we had a cruise director named Kieran, and he was phenomenal. He was a British lad.
Really?
And he was fantastic.
Hearing that voice on the intercom, that's got to be amazing.
Oh, yeah. a nice, cheeky Londoner accent every single morning. Very standard King's English. And so, no, that was, he definitely He actually, I think, ended up leaving to go to a different ship after our cruise, but he was...
That's pretty common. A lot of times, if they do a great job, they get upgraded to a bigger cruise line. So we see that a lot, especially with the Pride.
Yes.
Smaller ship.
So that's kind of like the, get your bearings and then you move on. A promotable position. Yeah, that seems like an interesting job.
Yeah.
I would not want that job, but like I can see how that would be a really interesting job.
Like somebody with no family.
Yeah.
I could see they get to travel, they get to be on a cruise. That's amazing. But somebody with a family, that's because there are a lot of people that are on those cruises that do have families. They have to stay away from them for months at a time.
I was talking with a bartender who is away on cruises for, I think it's 8 months of the year. And then he has 4 months straight vacation.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But for 8 months of the year, he's away from
everybody cares about.
Yeah. And I think he had like a little girl back home in, I think he was from the Philippines. And he had a wife and a little girl back home. Damn. And, then that sucks for those 8 months where he's away.
Yeah.
He gets 4 whole months completely free with them. But so, I mean, I think the ideal candidate, it's a trade-off. But the ideal candidate for a cruise worker would be somebody, no family, no attachments.
Yeah. Young person, wants to travel the world.
Right.
It's great.
And I think our cruise director, we did the math. I think he must have been like 28 or 29.
No way. So you're saying you and me should be cruise directors?
Yeah, no, I
think I'm fired.
Yeah, I'm set in where I'm at. But
I'm pretty content.
But maybe in another life, if I'm so inclined, if the sea calls, that could be an option.
When we retire. When we retire, we're going to be cruise directors.
Geriatric cruise directors.
Exactly.
All right.
How did I get here?
Yeah, I could see that. No, they do a damn swell job of keeping things running shipshape.
Oh yeah.
And that's right. And it was an absolute blast. I was just blown away with how it was curated and it was just
managed very well,
beautifully.
Everything is taken care of. There's not a thing that you have to question, from the food to the service, even like the home, what's it called? Like, for example, they fold all the stuff. They get laundry service. The room service. They get your laundry done. All of that stuff is taken care of. It's so easy.
And it's a nice, in my head, there's two types of vacations. There's an active vacation and a passive vacation. Active, going to a new country and seeing all the sights and everything, or passive, laying on a beach somewhere, right?
Oh yeah.
Cruises are a nice middle ground because, you can just lay in your room all day or lay on the sun deck and get pampered. Yeah. But also you're usually going to go to ports and you can go out and explore the port and see the history there, interact with the local culture and cuisine. And
even then you could do like their curated excursions. So it's like, it's already ready to go. I just have to select, hey, I want to do this. Okay.
And so it's so customizable and personalized and it just is, I was just, I was almost like, where has this been? Or rather, where have I been all of my life?
It sounds like we're sponsored by Carnival Cruise.
Yeah, no, I don't think they do, right?
But if you guys are watching, please sponsor us. Next time, podcast from the seas.
That's right. Yeah, there you go. That's right. I mean, I guess we can turn it around on the opposite end. Do you know about the poop cruise?
The poop cruise? What the fuck is that?
So that's the title of a documentary.
Okay.
But years ago, you don't want Carnival sponsorship, right? We can just throw them through the water. I'm teasing. But
no, I mean, dude, I don't.
Years ago, there was a Carnival ship, since been refurbished and renamed.
Okay.
But there was a Carnival ship that had gone down into the Caribbean, spent a few days down there, and then was on its return journey. And then somewhere, some odd nautical miles off the coast of Mexico, way off the coast of Mexico, every working part of the ship just came to a halt.
Damn.
And so they were dead in the seas without, power.
When was this?
2010 or so, familiar. 2013 maybe.
This sounds very familiar.
And I think the people on that ship ended up spending like 5 or 6 days just stranded.
Oh my God.
And the reason they call it the poop cruise as the documentary is because there was no running water on the ship. And so each day in the morning, cruise staff would come to all of the rooms and give the people, 10 biohazard waste bags. And that was your toilet for the day.
What the fuck?
That's right. And so for 6 or so odd days, that's what these poor cruise goers were subjected to.
Oh my god! And you know, with those buffets, that those biohazard
spreads quick. And it's a funny story. This is a Netflix documentary. If you're curious and you want to watch
I'll check it out.
It's a very interesting documentary, and it shows like the little like shanty town that people built on the top deck with like sheets strung up, and because they didn't want to stay in their rooms because the toilets were overflowing with sewage.
Oh
and
my
things.
god!
So they're all on the top decks. And so it was everything.
Bro, I'm gonna watch this and I'm gonna cancel our plans.
That's right. It was what my wife said. She said, "Don't you dare watch that video
Right
after we got back."
Yeah.
But what I learned is that a coworker of mine in 2013 was on a cruise and in the area. And while he was on the cruise director got on the horn for the ship and said, "Hey guys, one of our sister ships is having a little bit of trouble. We're going to make a quick stop and just check in on them, make sure they're okay."
Oh my god!
And that was the poop cruise.
Oh,
and so
bro was so lucky he was not
on that one. But he pulled over, and Carnival did a really good job of making his ship not understand how bad it was on that ship.
As you would.
You
don't want to scare your patron.
Exactly. And so, they didn't think much of it. But what happened was, I guess, his ship had staff bring over a bunch of like alcohol and food and fresh, toilet paper and everything.
That's pretty nice.
Like restock the ship almost.
That's
and then
awesome.
Left. And the funny thing he was saying is he only really realized the magnitude of the disaster a day or so later.
Okay.
Because him and his wife were watching on the TV. CNN was covering this now.
Oh no.
And so they were like, "Wait a second, wasn't that just the ship we were?" And then like a day later,
oh my god,
CNN was like cut from the Carnival network. So now they were like, "Okay, yeah, that's gone. They're not showing us that." Like again, with that's reasonable, I suppose. But so play devil's advocate. That's the risk, I suppose, you run.
Oh my god.
And, that's not an often thing or anything. But it's
okay.
just,
we'll just delegate one suitcase to extra chemical toilets.
That's right.
That'll be good.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me think. Is Luis coming? Luis is, he can do
we'll just fix everything.
That's right.
If anything stops working.
Sorry, Luis. You're the first name I could
Oh my god.
So, I'm sorry. That's
our last guest, by the way.
Yeah.
Check it out if you guys haven't seen it.
So he's,
Shout out to Luis in the worst way.
yeah. Love you, Luis. Sorry, buddy. That was...
if you're watching, bro, I'm sorry.
Wrong place, wrong time, King. I'm sorry, but
oh my god.
No, so I would be all that said, I would be so down for a boys' cruise. Absolutely.
All that poop cruise, we'll still do it.
Hey, you gotta take some risks in life,
dude.
Healthy risks.
Absolutely. It's totally worth the risk because you got like a 1% chance, if even, that you're going to end up on the poop cruise. Yeah. You got a 90% chance that you're going to have the blast of, the greatest time of your life.
And so go.
Yeah.
And I love traveling and I just never have. And so that's a very great, curated, safe way for me to get that fix. Yeah. Without having to, put too much onto my own shoulders.
Oh, yeah. Very stress-free.
Stress-free. If you do it right, it's reasonably priced.
Oh yeah, $500, $600 per person. That's
right.
Not bad at all for 7 days of vacation. Everything is included except for what? What is included? The excursions aren't included.
Well, nowadays the drink packages are not included either. You have to buy the drink packages.
Okay, I think it's been like that for a while. So those are the only two things that if you want. A lot of people don't even drink, and a lot of people don't even do excursions.
That's right.
So
we did no excursions, and we did buy the drink package. It is a little bit of a racket, I will say, because unfortunately, which makes sense from a business standpoint, the drink package. If one person in a room gets the drink package, everyone in that room must get the drink package because yes. So for instance, my wife and I went, the drink packages come not per cabin, but per person. And so I bought a drink package. That means she also had to buy one.
She has to buy
mandated, yes.
That's crazy.
Because otherwise, what's to stop me from getting her a bunch of drinks and then having my own, right? So that's what they know. And so that's the only thing where if we had done no drink packages, it would have been a lot cheaper.
So how much if you don't mind me asking, how much did the package increase the cost by?
Total fees, everything included, like the final grand price, I think we were at, oh my gosh, 2,500 or so.
To be honest, for 7 days, you went for the week one, I'm assuming?
I think ours was 8 days.
8 days? That's not that bad, Like me and my family went to Mexico for like a 3-4 days. We easily spend way more than that.
Well, and we did the drink package for both of us.
Yeah.
And then the other thing we did was we got an upgraded room. So we got
okay.
a bigger room, and it had a balcony and a seaside view.
Oh,
so, we upgraded. That's why it was a little more expensive, too. 2 drink packages plus like a couple room upgrades.
Yeah.
That, it rises the price a little bit.
That's not that bad at all, especially if you compare it to other, like, similar trips. My friend was just telling me he went to Miami, and it set him back like $5,000-$10,000 easily. $10,000 if you include him and his friend.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, some plane tickets are, $1,500.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, traveling to get to your destination alone right there could be half of what I spent for the whole vacation.
Plus, you have to worry about everything. So it's not only the cost, but it's also the stress of, oh my God, I need to go to the store and get food for us. I need to order this food. I need to do that. Or I need to I need to book this. I need to make sure that, is this museum going to be open by the time we get there?
Right.
You got to worry about all that.
Versus, letting an entire professional hospitality team take care of your every, thought and desire. It makes it a little easier on you.
Yeah. And plus, like, all of the things that you can do that, like, they're known tourist destinations, right? So majority of the things that you can do there, it's already known that, hey, okay, there's going to be these other people on the cruise that are also going to go there, right? Okay, these are the safe spots. It's actually almost always all safe spots.
Yeah.
But it's just, that peace of mind that everything that we're going to go see, there's other people that are from the same place as me that are going through it. And this has been watched over. Like there's, like security guards around the place to make sure that us as tourists are safe. You don't get that when you visit another country as a regular, like as an individual.
Yes.
Right? You have to worry about your safety, your family's safety. Our safety is fine, right? We could probably handle ourselves. But, you have to worry about your wife. I have to worry about my family. That's like,
It adds an extra layer of stress
Absolutely.
that otherwise just is not a factor.
And for the people that are just doing this stuff, like let's say you're planning and, your wife, or, vice versa, whatever. Let's say Melina's planning everything.
That's more likely.
Yeah. Well, she has all the stress. You're just chilling. For you, it doesn't make a difference if you're at Carnival or with her, right? But for the person that has to carry that weight of like, oh my God, we need to get here. And then as soon as we're done, we need to get to this place. And as soon as we're done, how are we going to get to this place? Are we going to drive? Are we going to, Uber? What's the plan? All that stuff is like a lot, it's a headache.
And then not to mention, if you're, trying to travel on a budget, that adds up. Ubers add up. Train tickets add up,
All the little costs that you don't really pay attention to, they kill you. And
which otherwise on a cruise would be already accounted.
All included.
Right, exactly.
Like the excursions, they already give you a drive, like they'll drive you to where you need to go.
Yeah, it's all taken care of. And so it's the stress-free vacation, in my opinion. And
even the excursions are not that expensive because
they're very reasonable. Very reasonable.
Because they get bulk pricing because, they know that we're going to have this many people. We know that all the tickets are going to be booked.
Oh, they're going to sell out every time, of course. So they're not worried about, trying to nickel and dime you there.
Exactly.
Which makes it more reasonable on the vacation goer.
Exactly.
So, we didn't have the opportunity to do any this time around, but I think that the very next cruise ship I step foot on.
You mean that we all step
on, whatever port we end up at, some activity ought to be done, I think.
100%. And, since we'll all be like all on the younger side, we can actually do more exciting stuff, parasailing, if you guys want, I don't know what you guys' tolerance for like extreme.
I love adrenaline type stuff.
Yeah, dude, I love that kind of stuff. Give me some adrenaline and, oh man.
Oh yeah, well, maybe we'll have to work up to parasailing
or scuba diving.
Scuba diving, yeah.
You could see some, fish, some stingrays. Maybe get crocodile hunter. Rest in peace, Steve Irwin.
Yeah, Steve Irwin, my gosh, buddy.
I miss him, man.
He was a pioneer of nature education.
Yeah, I remember watching him a lot as a kid.
Oh yeah, all the time. I mean, he died in 2004 or something like that. We were young,
really?
2006.
Yeah.
It was we were young when he died.
We would watch him in school, if you remember that.
Oh, of course,
bio
absolutely.
class.
Yeah.
Not bio, but science class.
The the K-12 sciences, whatever they had. Oh yeah, no, but yeah, I think my adrenaline. I am not an adrenaline junkie, but that's not to say that I would shy away from those experiences. I might have to.
You're an exploration junkie.
Yes, I love the
new stuff,
crannies of things, and what's
down
down this
that too,
alleyway, and that's not to say that I'm not an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah,
I have become in my in my older age at 26.
Get out of here.
In my older age.
Senior citizen bill.
Yes.
Have your discounts started yet?
Soon. Okay. They kick in. As soon as my back starts cracking a little more.
Oh. Subscribe to Simply Fit. We'll help you with the most.
That's right. There you go. My posture right. I do think as I've gotten older, I don't know if it's the whole when you're young, you think you're invincible or whatever it is, but as I have gotten older, I will say my tolerance for, more dangerous things, more risky things, more adrenaline, those kind of adrenaline inducing things has gone down significantly. I did a lot more adrenaline junkie, beating around the bush, stupid. I did a lot of more stupid things when I was a kid.
As you should, we can recover way better when we're kids. Now you like, let's say if I break an ankle as a kid, I'll recover in a few weeks, maybe a few months. Now, dude, I'm not going to be able to lift for like a year.
My God, yeah, you'll be out of commission.
Yeah, my shoulder injury was a big wake-up call. Like,
that's right.
You're not a young kid anymore. You gotta watch out. You gotta relax.
Well, and with exercising too, one misstep and you could be hurt for life.
Oh, yeah.
Or impaired for life anyways.
Absolutely.
I hurt my knee running down a hill in Seattle like 5 years ago, and it still hurts every now and then when I run. So, I mean, you got to be careful with your body.
We can talk about that when we're off the podcast. I could recommend some routines for you.
Oh, yeah. Because it's a very light pain now. It's been years. So it's, I did a couple courses of PT and that did help.
Do you still do those exercises?
Yeah, from time to time. When it flares, I do.
Guy.
Yeah, no.
It's preventative, man.
Yeah, it is. And I should be better about I should be better about all of that, actually. But
you should. It's very important because it's only going to get harder.
Right? Yes.
My shoulder injury was about 2 years ago. It was the same time as your wedding.
Yeah.
I couldn't lift for 6 months. I still do those workout, like the routines for PT. I still do them every day to this day. It takes like maybe 20, 30 minutes. But
it's not bad.
Not bad at all for that peace of mind.
That's what you're investing is far less than what you're getting out of it. And so
if I get another injury, I have to take maybe a year off.
That's right.
Let's say 6 months again on the conservative side, right? Still, 6 months off of lifting, I know how many gains I'm going to lose and how much time I'm going to lose. And, when you get out of a habit that you've been doing for so long, it's not easy to get back into it.
No, it's not. Especially one with the, the kind of, chemical fixes like exercise. That's something you need to work up to. And I'm sure if you take a 6-month hiatus, that's going to really impair you.
Now it'd be eating Cheetos, playing Arc Raiders. Please sponsor us, Arc Raiders. I love that game, bro. It's so good.
Sure, you'll get somebody's ear sooner or later.
Yeah, Embark is going to reach out to me and be like, we would like to be on your podcast. I would shit my pants. Like,
there's a chair waiting for him, right? I warmed it up for you.
Oh my God, the shitted chair.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, you get one body, man, and if you mess it up, depending on the severity of the injury, that's it. And so you got to take care of it. You realize how fragile you are. And, when a mistake happens, I was just shoveling and picking ice the other day, and I hurt my back and my wrist. And I'm still like, I haven't been able to sleep the last few nights because my back hurts so bad because of whatever I did to it.
Jesus.
And so, I mean, I think it's fine. It just needs to heal itself. It's just a muscle. I'd probably just pulled a muscle or something.
But it's like these setbacks.
It's a setback, and it is a reminder of, we are
getting old, man.
Getting old, and we really need to watch ourselves. We can't just be flailing about, like we're 16 anymore. We have to kind of have some precautions in place so we don't harm ourselves.
Absolutely. Wait, give me 1 second. I am getting... Okay, never mind.
We good?
Yeah, it's not important.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. But yeah, no, I it's good to exercise. It's good to get those stretches in.
Oh, yes.
I work in health administration, and so
come on, bro. You're not doing your PT.
Try to set an example. Yeah, we work in something called health promotion, disease prevention.
Okay.
And it's funny, every so often, every few days, somebody will bring in like a box of donuts or something, and our big chief will come walking through like, what the hell is this? We're health promotion. And like, well, we got to, morale boost.
It's about balance.
It's about balance and yes.
The donuts aren't good for you, but they're good for your soul.
That's right.
Mental is just as important.
And so is a sugar rush. And so I think we all good things in moderation, but
absolutely.
But no, yeah, one of the toughest things in population health is getting folks to recognize the value of exercise. And unfortunately, that's a problem in this country. It's a big one. People don't exercise enough.
People don't realize that is one of the sleep and exercise. I don't know. I studied bio, but that's not what I do now. You're actually in the health fields, right?
Well, I studied political science, so we're even.
Dude, bro. I have so many friends, and you have so many friends too that studied something completely different from what they do now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what the heck is the point of that $100,000 piece of paper we got?
That's right. Yeah.
But the point I was saying was that exercise and sleep are some of the most important things. And obviously being social, having a good social support group. Mm-hmm. Those are the three most important things in your diet to having a long, healthy life. But we really, we neglect those things, especially sleep. Mm-hmm. I neglected it for a long time. 4 or 5 hours of sleep, I'll be good. I'll have 2 cups of coffee tomorrow instead of 1.
Right.
No. You need to get your 7 to 8 hours of sleep around our age, right? Mm-hmm. 7 to 8 hours of sleep, super important, especially for muscle gains. That is one of the biggest things. I could have sufficient protein intake, but if I don't sleep enough, I will not get those gains and my muscles will not recover.
And it contributes to stress, low performance.
Yeah. Cortisol levels increase.
Right.
Cortisol is one of the things that they say can decrease your lifespan way more than, I don't know how accurate this is, but people say that high cortisol levels on a regular basis can decrease your lifespan more than occasional cigarette smoking.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen that, but that wouldn't shock me.
It wouldn't shock me either.
That's something
I know cigarettes are bad, but also being in a constant state of stress for your body is also.
Yeah.
We don't realize how bad that is for us.
Yeah. I try to I try to go to my primary care physician very regularly and good checkups, blood work, all that stuff.
Absolutely.
And the thing that I hear them say over and over again, not just for me, but for kind of broadly speaking for all their patients and all Americans, is we do neglect sleep so much.
100%.
You have to be on top of your sleep, and kind of in the same vein, you have to be on top of your stress.
Absolutely.
And I mean, of course, those things go hand in hand, but I guess that's a very big problem in this country is our lack of sleep and our abundance of stress.
Yeah.
And so if there's one thing to focus on, I think a lot of people need to, take away that message and realize, hey, let's do something about this, whether that's, joining a gym, going to therapy,
even baby steps, just do a little bit of push-ups, do a little bit of sit-ups, do a little bit of walking, and, sleep maybe an hour earlier. Baby steps.
Yeah.
And then, increase from there, but you got to start somewhere.
That's right.
Sleep, instead of sleeping at 1 a.m., try to sleep at midnight.
Right.
Then, maybe a few months later, or a few weeks later, try to sleep at 11.
Yeah.
It's about baby steps.
And if you're having trouble, you can just Google things good for sleep and stress, and a list will come right up.
Absolutely.
So, and they're all probably going to say the same things, and so it's I'm sure you can tailor it and modify whatever routine you'd like to your own personal specifications and make it work for you.
Yeah.
So, which is what I'm trying to do right now.
Bro, you're doing great. I feel like you're very good at hitting that work-life balance. That's what I was saying. You're one of my most versatile friends, right? You know how to have a good time. I know how to have a good time. But when we have to take care of ourselves, our bodies, or our families and the people we care about, we can step up. We can do that. We know, okay, this is too much. I got to pull back a little bit. Mm-hmm. I got to focus on myself. We could do that. There's a lot of people out there that can do that.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of people that can't do that, and part of it is personality, part of it is maturity, part of it is whatever situation you're in, and the responsibilities that you've been dealt.
That's true. But a lot of people are forced to mature way too early.
That's right, or never at all. And so it extends to both ends of that spectrum. But just being mindful, I suppose, of that, and trying to strike a nice balance of not taking life too seriously, but also being aware and educated, and trying to prioritize your own health, your
absolutely
the social well-being of your community, all of those things. It ties up in a nice big neatly wrapped ribbon.
Absolutely,
if you can manage it. It's a juggle, I think. But.
Yeah. Everybody gets. I feel like most people. There's a point where it is kind of hard to juggle, but most people get there eventually. Whether it takes a few years or a little bit of time, but most people get to that point of, okay, let's have fun. Let's also lock in. Let's focus. Let's stay healthy. All that stuff,
Well,
That's like a part of life. It's
Yeah.
a part of growing.
It is a part. Well, that was my point. My next point was, from what I've read and been led to believe, the post college years, or in a more universal sense, your mid to late 20s and early 30s, is a time for kind of discovery and solidification of responsibilities in your own new adult routines and lifestyles. And so I think you and I, as mid 20-year-olds, are in that stage of our lives right now where, some people are still kind of in the school, college, party mode. Some people are way out here working high-end jobs. Some people are middle.
Yeah.
And so, but it's a very, to use a word you've been using, it's a very versatile age where I think you can see a lot of variance in what people are doing.
Absolutely. We have friends that grind away, working all the time, working their butts off. But we also have friends or people that we know that just chill. They don't really have any ambitions. I don't get it, man. I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. How can you just chill and, go out every weekend and have a good time? Like, sure, it's a good time, but it's short term. You have to establish yourself. This is the time that it's important for us to make a difference, to establish ourselves. Because you have a family, right? I have a family, but I don't have like a wife and kids, right? By the time I get to that point, I want to have enough, finances, stability to where, I could take care of them. Right?
Yeah.
It's way more important than the little bit of good time I'll have by going out. I'll still go out with you guys.
Yeah.
But, you got to hit that healthy balance. And there are a good amount of people that unfortunately don't know that, haven't reached that healthy balance yet. Well, but they'll get there.
Yeah, they will. And well, some people just, I think it takes them a little while to realize that.
The importance of life.
Yeah. Or of just, there being more to life than, partying or whatever you want to do. And I mean, far be it from me to say I'm a workaholic, because I'm not. But I,
I'm lazy too. Get me started.
But I do recognize the value of, being engaged and having a little bit of professional ambition, even not in your job. I write articles, actually.
Really?
On a side note.
Why have you not sent me send me those articles. I will read those.
I will. Yeah. Well, I write. I'll. So you're aware I read under a pen name, so you won't recognize my name.
Oh my! Yeah. Imagine I've been reading them this whole time. Like, oh my God, this is Nick.
He strikes again. No, but so I mean, if I think there's also a lot of value in finding other hobbies and things to exercise that professional muscle.
Oh yeah.
So
that's why I'm doing this podcast. This music. My New Year's resolution this year. I've talked about this in one of the prior episodes, but music and the podcast is something I want to focus on. I'm already pretty fit. But work and business is going pretty good.
Yeah.
But now I want to have like a rounded, rounded hobbies and like around, all over the place. I want to do the things I want to do.
That's right. Yeah. Outside of, whatever your work ties you to. And I think that's important.
Which is still fun. I still enjoy the stuff that, like work makes us travel every now and then. We're getting out of our comfort zone, doing new things. It's a good time.
And I think in many ways that's a very lucky position to be in.
Absolutely.
A lot of folks, tolerate their job, much less enjoy it. And so, and a lot of folks don't even tolerate their job. And so I think you and I both have been pretty lucky in terms of where we work. I feel very comfortable in my position and well supported and have a good balance. I enjoy what I do. I can see the fruits of the labor helping people. And so, that's a good position to be in.
Absolutely, bro. We're very blessed.
Yeah. It's been a good ride.
100%. And we would like absolutely we would not take like half the risks that we did in college.
Oh,
like that pepper spray thing. If somebody came into the office and was like, "Yo, we got this pepper spray. You guys want to test it?" I'd be like, "Absolutely not."
Get out.
Yeah.
No, we've come a long way, I think.
Absolutely.
But I'm glad for those times too. I if nothing more, it'll give me a good sense of what to pass down and say, hey, you can do this, but watch out for this.
Oh yeah, 100%. Our kids are gonna make mistakes, but
of course
they'll be like, hey, listen, son, or listen, daughter, we fucked up too. But it's about how you get up from that, how you learn from that, how you move forward.
Right.
That's the important part.
Yeah.
Actually, I was given 2 questions. I already asked one, but I'm going to ask you the other question. I was given a few questions, but we'll keep that for part 2.
Perfect. Sounds good.
I don't want to keep you here for too long.
Fire away.
Yep, I just got to pull it up.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
The ADHD has kicked in. This is probably the longest, I have not checked my phone.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I've got a few buzzes here and there. I keep it in the pocket.
Yeah. It was a good time, bro. I'm having a great time.
Oh, absolutely. No, and I don't even think I thanked you on the air for having me on. I
Bro,
appreciate
stop.
being
No, absolutely, bro. It doesn't even feel like we're like recording or we're doing
No, it
anything,
does
to
not.
be honest.
No, it does not. This is just what we do.
Yeah, like we've had these conversations, like talking about the same stuff. Literally, when we were on break, just like eating and like catching up.
yeah.
And
It was just a
Oh my
continuation
goodness,
of what we're doing in
I was
here.
like, damn, I wish we recorded this.
There was some good material said on the offline.
Okay, so one of the questions was,
Yeah.
what has changed the most in both of you individually, and how did that affect the friendship?
Since when?
In general, I would probably say switching school. For me, my answer would be changing schools.
That was a big switch up for you.
Yeah. Well, like in terms of our friendship,
Oh, yeah.
because that was 4 years that we didn't really see each other.
That's right. Yeah, because, I mean, we didn't, for a lot of the time, we didn't have cars. We didn't go, there wasn't much to do in rural Delaware.
That didn't really change much, I would say. Like when we got to college, it was like we picked up right where we left off, except more freedom.
That's
we could
right.
do whatever we want.
We really did pick up right where, I mean, that's the mark of a true friendship, is where it feels like, no matter how many years have passed, you can just continue on like nothing's happened.
There's months that like you and I have like before in the past, there's months that we just like don't text each other.
Word.
Like, yo, what's up, bro? Like that doesn't change anything, you know?
Well, I think that's part of being an adult too, is, you get busy and you get behind and things pile up and stuff. Oh, but gosh, to answer your question though, what's the biggest thing that's changed about?
And you can be honest. You can be brutally honest.
Well, no, I have an answer. And I think it's probably one you remember.
Oh God, it's gonna be racist.
But my answer is, do you remember in sophomore year when I lost all of my blood?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a scary time.
It was, and it very much changed the way I looked at life. It changed my personality, my behavior. A lot of things changed for me. And in some ways, past that, because I was so sick and so energy depleted, it kind of almost made me have to, like, when astronauts come back down from space, they have to relearn how to walk. I almost kind of had to relearn how to be a person because I got so sick and so depleted of blood. I mean, I'm not joking. I was severely anemic. I had lost almost all of my blood.
Dude, it was scary. Like, we were worried about you, man.
Yeah. I was in the ICU for like 4 or 5 days, and so I eventually. When you lose that much blood, your body kind of goes into fight or flight mode. And my body was in fight or flight mode for probably the better part of 6 or 7 months.
Jesus.
And so
brutal.
It was brutal. But then once I had to, or rather, once I, I got my blood back, I was, I was given transfusions and medication. After that, I had realized, like, suddenly it hit me in like a realization, wow, I was really not who I normally am during all that time, because I was so in fight or flight mode that I wasn't as social as I was. I wasn't as patient. I wasn't as nice. I wasn't as I didn't have as much human in me. I was more machine getting through the day than I was a person.
It definitely messes with you psychologically.
It did, and so I had to kind of relearn how to socialize after that, because I was so depleted. I only had enough energy to get me through the needs of the day, school, work. That by the time those were taken care of, I didn't have any energy for friends left, and so I think post that episode. What changed in me, of course, was the blood loss, and the result was I almost had to relearn how to balance social activities with the musts, the work, the school, the hygiene, health, the things you
needs versus
and socialization is a need too, of course.
Yeah,
but
at the time, it doesn't seem as important.
If you get into a survival situation, you start, I guess, prioritizing things. And of course I knew, if I stopped going to class, well, I'd flunk and that would be bad. If I stopped being an RA, I'd lose my stipend and that would be bad.
Surprised you even did your RA duties.
I went to the gym every day.
No way.
I did. And
you're crazy.
Well, I think what honestly happened, it must have been that I must have had adrenaline soaring in me all the time.
Let me just put this to sink down here. All right, keep going.
No, that was it. I think just relearning how to socialize and prioritize, being a part of a community again after being in a very isolating physical health moment. was probably my biggest change, and relearning how to incorporate socialization back into my daily routine.
That makes sense. That's a very difficult thing to have to deal with, and the fact that you yeah,
and
I don't know
there's
who else has had to deal with something like that.
And there's no guides online about how to do that.
What happens if too much blood loss? I lose my mind.
Yes. And so I had to kind of figure that out on my own.
Yeah, I think you did a great job. Yeah,
I think so.
Came back better than ever, right?
I did. Yes, more blood and all.
Would you say, like, what is something that you learned from that experience that benefits you to this day?
Read medicine labels carefully. No. Have regular check-ins with your body.
Okay.
It's not just like going to the doctor and exercising and things, but really listen to yourself. And I am definitely a bit of a hypochondriac, and so I'm almost too in tune with my body. But looking for those signs and symptoms of when things, know your body well. If something seems off, maybe it's a good idea if you have the, financial security to get it checked out.
Better to have that mental peace of mind, right?
At best and at worst, you find something and you take care of it.
Yeah.
And so I think the biggest takeaway was, don't be afraid to confront if something feels wrong in your body.
I just noticed you did that with you.
See,
I forgot that you used to do that.
Yeah, well, my hand, I hurt my wrist shoveling the other day, and so I've been stretching my thumb is where I'm holding a lot of the pain. So I've just naturally been doing that.
It's like, what the fuck? Oh, wait, Nick used to do that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Put it all the way back there.
Hey, you want to flex it for the camera?
Yeah. Well, everybody's that could do some weird things with their hands. But
sorry, keep going.
No, that was it.
Derailed you there.
Check in with your body and
listen to it.
Don't ignore when something feels off. Your gut's a pretty good indicator. If something's off and doesn't feel right, go to a clinic. Go check it out. Go make sure something is not wrong.
It can't hurt. It might be stressful. It might be scary, but it can't hurt.
You're gonna call it.
Oh yeah. It's just they're trying to play our creators.
We can finish up soon. I know it's 9:00.
Yeah, I just want to ask my last question.
Let's do it.
But
yes, go to the doctor. Don't be afraid of the doctor. A lot of people have white coat syndrome, but those white coats are here to save us. So don't be afraid. Listen to your body. Go to a doctor. Trust the experts.
They know what they're doing.
As
scary as it is.
Scary as it is. Well, your brothers in the medical field, they go through a lot of training to make sure that they know what they're doing.
Bro, so, I ask him so many questions, like all the time, because I'm also a hypochondriac.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I ask him all the time, and he's like, "Oh my god, dude, stop fucking googling stuff," or like, "Leave me alone, bro. I'm trying to work. I'm an IR doctor."
Now then you text Luke. Say to Luke, what's going on?
Yeah, no, I text my sister-in-law, and she's like, she looks into great detail, and she's like, "Oh, there's nothing to worry about. He's the reason why." I'm like, "Thank you," because my brother's like, "I'm so done with you," because he's known me for 26 years.
Yeah, he's been dealing with it.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh my god, you're such a hypochondriac." I was like, "Bro, is this not weird to you?" He's like, "No, man, this is normal.
You're a human. Live with it."
Now, the other question was...
Yes.
How has your friendship evolved over the years? I feel like we've basically answered that through this podcast,
That's kind of the funny thing is, in the best way possible. I don't know that it did evolve because we've been just, friends for so long that there really hasn't been much changes. We've always been very close. We've always been like brothers.
Yeah.
Nothing has really changed. And like you said, even that 3-year hiatus where you're in a different school than me, a completely different area, when we got back together, in college, it's like we picked up right where we left off. Yeah. So, I mean, how did it evolve?
Maybe we became more like, I would say, from kids, we went from, being stupid kids to being a little, not even stupid. We were pretty responsible as kids, I would say, in comparison, right? We just matured a little bit more. We learned and life experience changed us. But aside from that, I feel like, everything's the same.
Yeah, we
some things never change.
And there's nothing wrong with that. No. So how did it evolve? I mean, we just by, maintaining constant contact and being there for each other, it's about that support system. And I think you and I are very lucky because not just each other, but we have a pretty good group of friends.
Oh, yeah.
That are just awesome guys.
It's always a good time to see, the squad.
It always is. You never leave disappointed after a night out of town with the fellas.
Always a good time. It doesn't matter what we're doing. We could be doing the most mundane, boring. Then we can go to the park.
Yeah.
But if it's our squad, if it's our group, we'll have a great time.
The time of the life, exactly.
Absolutely.
And so, no, I think just being there for each other, being supportive, being in each other's corner, as we've been now for over 20 years.
Yeah, I pray that everybody has friends that like we do. Yeah,
and not everyone does, and so we're quite lucky in that regard that we've we've struck gold really, and so. Well done to us.
Congrats to us.
Yeah, really. We made
my plaque. Nice. I totally agree. We very blessed. We did strike gold, some things never change, and they shouldn't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right.
I still get that same joy of hanging out with you, hanging out with like Cam, hanging out with all of our college friends. It's always like, oh my God, like let's go. Like I don't care how many times we see them.
It's the same every time, and that spark is reignited each single time we see each other.
Oh yeah.
So we're a solid group of folks, and it's such a pleasure every single time I see the texts pop up, and I'm like, oh God, are we getting together? We would have where are we going this time? Philly, whatever. It's always a blast. It's always a blast.
And one of the things that I find really funny is, I think it's really good that we're all very professional in our professional lives, right? Like when it comes to work, we lock in, we do a great job, we do what we need to. But when we're hanging out and we're just like having a good time, we become kids again.
That's right.
It's like that same third grade, second grade us is just hanging out again.
It's somewhere deep locked inside of us are those same two little kids that grew up on the same street.
Yep.
And you're right. And we see some of our other friends from first, second, third grade. We all come. That inner child that first met each other all comes right back out, and
feels like things have never changed.
And like you said, and they haven't. And so we're quite lucky in that regard, man. It's shocking. It's shocking.
We all better end up in the same retirement home.
That's right. Yeah, if we're not all cranky
doing ketamine in the city,
getting experimented on by the staff.
Oh my God. Half of us have dementia. The other half is like, "Shut up, kid." Like we're still back at Lake. Is this Lake Forest?
Oh God.
Nick, is that the Alpha Delta Squadron?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, right.
That's going to trigger your PTSD.
Yeah, that triggers a lot.
Like, what? They're in the walls. But yeah, this has been a great episode. It's getting kind of late. It's about to be 9 p.m. I do need to head home and check in on the grandparents.
Well,
it was great having you, bro. We've been talking for like it's about to be 2 hours.
Wow.
It doesn't feel like 2 hours.
No, it does not. Well, it's been a pleasure being here.
It's been a pleasure having you, bro.
I've always wanted to be on a podcast, and now my dream has come true. And I just hope that this is, what would this be, episode 3?
Yeah.
I just hope that this is episode 3 of a very long and prosperous show for you.
I appreciate
it. I'm honored to be the first visual guest and the second guest in general.
Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate you for coming. I know it's a weekend. You could have been doing a ton of other things, so thank you for making the time.
Nowhere I'd rather be.
I appreciate that. Yeah. We'll have you on so many more times. I plan to have I want to do like 4 or 5 people on at the same time as well. You will totally be there. You are going to be back. Like you and me are going to be doing episodes all the time. I already know that.
Oh, I'm a born panelist, so have me on whenever you like. I'm in the neighborhood.
You should have read the fine print, bro.
You should have brought my magnifying glass. Well.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one, and I hope you learned something useful. Be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe.